on our backs, which I rub my hands together. So I feel like that's really exciting news in a yoga class. So come on down to your mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees come out wide. If you know that being in this position for a while is going to cause a significant amount of tension on your hips, you may want to place some pillows or bolsters underneath your knees. We'll be here for just a moment, or for a couple moments really. Start to settle into your hips, nestle in, and place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly. Start to bring your attention to the places of contact between your body and the mat, making any adjustments you need to feel settled and comfortable, adjustments in your shoulders, soften through your shoulders and jaw. And your eyes, maybe close them down or just let them be softly open. And start to direct your breath downward, feeling a sense of support and grounding from the earth below you. Notice your body breathing. And begin to lengthen your inhales and exhales. You want your breath to feel intentional, but not forced. Use this intentional breath to invite patience and serenity. As you lay here meditating on your breath, thoughts will arise and pass away. Meet them with equanimity and peace of mind. Not forcing them out, but accepting them in. Being with things as they are. Add some movement into your legs, bringing your knees up to middle, above your feet. Take your arms over your head. Walk your feet out to the outside edges of the mat and gently, slowly windshield wiper your knees from one side to the other. Go really slow. Whatever your pace is, take it down even half a notch. Challenge yourself to go as slow as you can. And pay attention to every little step and every little inch that your legs take as they pass through midline over to the other side. Using the breath and the movement to anchor yourself into the present moment. Next time your knees come through middle, bring both your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Rock gently from side to side. Massage the space around your lower back. Let your hips be heavy. And keep your right shin and your right hand lengthen out through your left foot, or keep your left knee bent if that's more comfortable. And just take some small circles with your right ankle. Go one direction and then the other. And then gently take your right knee, guide it over to the left side for a twist. You can reach your right arm over to the side, palm up. If that's uncomfortable, you can just place your right hand on your right hip. Gaze doesn't have to be anything extreme. Looking to your right might increase the stretch for you. So if that feels like a little too much this early in the game, you can gaze just straight up. And draw your right knee in towards your chest. Come back to a flat back and cross your right ankle over your left thigh here. And then you'll draw right shin in, clasp your hands behind your left thigh, and pull this structure in towards your chest. And a little bit of rocking is nice here too, so you can start to see how the sensation shifts a little bit as you make a few movements, little adjustments. And then you can uncross your right leg, place your right foot on the mat and draw your left knee in towards your chest with your hands clasped around your left shin. Maybe you decide to stay here or lengthen out through your right leg. Take small circles through your left ankle, couple in one direction and then the other. With your left shin in your right hand, guide your left shin across your midline to the right side. Left arm reaches out from your left side. Right hand lightly placed on your left knee, not forcing your knee to the earth, but just kind of resting there, providing a sense of grounding without pushing it down. And bring your left knee back in towards your chest. Open up through your left hip, bend your right knee, and we'll take pigeon on our back with our left leg over the right. Hands clasped behind your thigh. You can take those same little adjustments, subtle rock back and forth from side to side, or stillness is absolutely welcome too. Just kind of exploring and starting to close the distance between body and mind as we get started with our practice. And uncross your left knee. Bring both knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Rock from side to side again. Stay here in Apanasana if this is comfortable for you, or find happy baby pose with both feet over your knees, feet flexed, hands on the outsides of your feet, or big toe, or your first two fingers around your big toes. And again, just subtle rock movements from side to side, opening up through your hips. And then bring both feet over, or both feet down to the mat. Roll over to one side, and we'll come to hands and knees. I'm going to adjust my scrunchie real quick here because it's 2020 and we're wearing scrunchies again. Hands underneath your shoulders, hips over your knees, scrunchie intact, and then press down into the earth. Tuck your chin, lift the space behind your heart, round your back, Inhale, reach your heart down and forward. Pull your palms in towards your knees. Extend your spine. Exhale, press down, hands press down and forward. Chin tucks, shoulders broaden. Inhale, lengthen using your back muscles. Exhale, pull navel to spine, draw into center. Exhale, inhale, lengthen out. Then if you want to add some rhythmic movements, take your hips to the back of the mat, around, come forward into your shoulders. Get a little bit off the grid here. And then be sure to go in the other direction, exploring different rhythms, paces, articulating your spine in every direction. And then we'll come back to center. Find some stillness, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back for downward dog. Find your movements that you usually take here, bend one knee and then the other. Start to settle into this pose. Check in with your hips. Just maybe take your heels from side to side. And then inhale your heels over your toes. Draw your chin into your chest like we do for cat pose, and then think cat pose through your upper back as you round forward and arrive like a wave into plank. Inhale, draw navel to spine, lift from center. Exhale back into downward dog, soften through your ankles. Let's feel that a couple more times. Tuck your chin, round forward. Patience and ease. Lift up and back stretch through downward dog. Inhale, wave forward last time. Arrive in plank, either through plank or knee plank, and then knee elbows point back, lower all the way down to the mat. We'll take 3 cobra poses here, increasing in height. So either hands underneath your shoulders or fingertips on the outside edges of your mat. This first one will be just a little baby cobra. Loop your shoulders, lift your heart up and forward, lift just slightly, and then release. Let's go one more out of the second one out of 3 here. Loop your shoulders, reach your heart forward, come up a little higher, and soften back down. On this last one, loop your shoulders, use your back, and then you can use your arms, come up a little bit higher, open up through the front of your body, and then release back down to the earth. Hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes in through plank or knee plank or even child's pose. Come back to downward dog. Take a cleansing breath here, deep inhale, and then exhale out your mouth. Let's maybe even do one more of those. All right, now breath leads. Inhale, lift your right leg back, reach out through your heel. Exhale, hug your knee into center, shift forward, and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Keep your hips low, press your fingertips down into the earth, tuck your chin, and again, like cat pose, round your upper back. On your inhale, lengthen forward with your heart back through your left heel. Right knee stays over right ankle. Inhale, pull everything into center. Exhale, lengthen back out. 2 more. Inhale, pull your feet together on the inhale, and on the exhale, press them down and apart. Again, inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Secure your hands to the mat. Keep your shoulders over your wrists as you step back with control into plank. Hips the same height as your shoulders if you're coming down through plank. Elbows pass by rib cage, unless you have multiple, on your way to the mat. And then tops of feet anchor into the earth. Fingertips press down. Shoulders loop. Keep the back of your neck long. Rise up through cobra. And then soften back to the earth. Hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Navel pulls away from mat. And then through plank or knee plank. Back to downward dog. Breath leads, left heel lifts, inhale back and up. Draw your knee through center, lift and shift forward. Place your foot next to your thumb. Fingertips press down. Inhale, pull energy in from the earth. Exhale, lengthen out. Heart reaches forward, right heel back. Inhale, pull everything into center. Exhale, use your back muscles to lengthen. Then on the inhale, you're using abdominal muscles to draw everything into center. One more. Inhale, broaden across your shoulders. Exhale, press out through your right heel, forward with your left shin. Secure your mats, your hands to the mat, and step into plank. Exhale, elbows point back. Return to your mat. Shoulders loop, peel yourself off. Reach your heart forward, collarbones broaden, and melt back down. Hands under your shoulders. Back to downward dog. Inhale your right leg. Reach out through your heel. Exhale, draw your knee into center. Shift forward, place your right foot next to your right thumb. Walk your hands to the side, so you've turned to your left, and then we'll skandasana to the left. So keep your hips the same height as your shoulders if possible. And then we'll come back to center. Instead of going forward, we're going to keep doing this one side. Secure the outside edge of your front foot into the mat as you come back. Good. One more time to center. One more time to the back. And then walk your hands back to the front. Square your hips. Step into plank. And return to the earth. Shoulders loop, shoulder blades draw together, heart lifts, soften back down, tuck your toes through plank, back to downward dog. Inhale your left leg back. Exhale, draw your left knee into center, place your left foot between your hands. Walk your hands to the right side of the mat. And this time you'll bend the other leg. So your left foot is forward. Inhale back to center. Keep your hips low as you bend your back leg. Inhale to the middle. Exhale. Secure the front foot down. Inhale, center one more time to the back. Heart reaches forward, spine long. And then come back to the middle. Walk your hands to the front of the mat, square your hips, and step into plank. Through knee plank or plank, back to your mat. Cobra heart opener here. Back of neck stays long. And then through plank or knee plank, back to downward dog. Inhale your right leg, lift up, reach from heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, draw your right knee in, place your right foot next to your right thumb. Ground your left heel, so you're setting up for warrior one footwork. And press down into the earth. Keep your hips low, arms reach forward and up. On your exhale, you'll reach your heart forward, pinkies lead, sweep back. Right shoulder makes its way on the inside or towards the inside of right knee. Use your strong center to lift you back up to warrior one. Hands reach for the sky. Exhale, spine stays long as you dive forward, hands sweep back. Inhale, back up over your head. Exhale, dive forward. Look to the back of the mat. Unfurl, lift your arms over. One more time, exhale. Pinkies lead, feel your triceps come online. Inhale, press down into your feet. Keep your hips low, hands over your head. Seal your palms. Reach forward with your heart, hands to the earth. Step back mindfully. Place your right foot next to your left. Pull belly button to spine. Resist gravity on your way back down. Shoulders loop, heart lifts. And come back to downward dog. Left leg. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, draw your knee into center, foot to thumb. Right heel is down, so your heel to heel alignment here. Press down into the earth. Sweep your arms forward so shoulders start square. And then hinge from your hips. Pinkies lead. Left shoulder on the inside of left leg. Inhale. Press down, rise back up. Press the outer edge of your back foot down and back. Exhale, fold forward. Look to the back of your mat. Inhale, hips reach down, crown of head lifts up. Exhale, fold. Strong center to help you rise. One more time. Keep your left hip moving back in space. Inhale, arms up over your head. Palms together through midline, down to the mat, and step into plank. All the way to the earth. Shoulders loop, tops of feet press down and back. Exhale, release. And then let's come back into child's pose. Knees can be wide here or together. If your knees are wide, bring your big toes together. Reach your hands forward and soften into your hips. Take a moment to check back in with your breath. If it's increased, see if you can slow it down. Again, intentionally, without force. Let your breath ground you. And then from child's pose, we'll come through tabletop to our back. So just swing your shins to the side and make your way to the back or to your back. So from here, I'm gonna have to adjust this scrunchie again. Bring your knees into your chest and take your hands to your shins. So instead of your knees being together, take your knees to the outside of your ribs, outside of your chest there. and flex both of your feet. So if you've ever done frog pose, Mandukasana, then you know that you're in this pose, but you're on your back. So I want your feet to be in line with your knees. So that means if they're just hanging there, they're going to be a little bit lower. So keep them active and part of this structure. Then take your hands behind your head. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat as you bring your knees together. We'll get a little pause here at the top, and then inhale, open back up. Keep everything really active. Exhale, heart reaches up, knees draw together, hold a little at the top, and then nice and slow, control your breath and the movement as you lower down. Exhale, draw in, abdominals press down. Inhale, open back up, expand. Exhale, coil and press your lower back into the earth. Inhale, open back up. Let's do 2 more. Draw in, feel the strength at the top, and then release. Keep your feet flexed. Draw everything up. Let's hold at the top for 2 extra breaths. Keep squeezing your abdominals down, pressing your lower back down, and then release your feet. Release your arms over your head. Walk your feet to the sides of the mat again, and gentle movements of your legs from side to side, like gentle waves. We can just imagine that we're going on beach vacations now. Then bring your knees back to center. We'll roll to one side. Come back through hands and knees and meet in downward dog. Any scrunchy adjustments can take place now. Downward dog, if you want to take any cleansing breaths again here, this is a great time. So inhale, and then with your tongue out, release. Now lift your right leg back on your inhale. Reach from your right heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, draw your right knee in, hug it up to center, shift forward, and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Ground your back heel, and if you like the strap for Humble Warrior, we're going to hold it for a bit. So you might want to either have your hand towel available or a strap. Take it in one hand. Inhale your arms over your head, and then hands behind you. You'll either clasp your hands, or you've got your hand towel here for a strap. Then reach your hands any amount away from your back leg. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Arms come up and over any amount. Loosen your neck. Gaze to the back of the mat. Press down into both feet. Press your feet down and apart. Keep your right hip in line. It has a tendency to want to jut out to the right, so keep pulling your right hip back in space. Pull up and in through your back leg. So both of your roots are helping to keep you grounded here. Just a couple more breaths. See if you can soften your shoulders anymore. And then keep your chin tucked. Press into both feet to help you rise. Unfurl your heart. Lift your arms slowly over your head. Palms together. Exhale, dive forward, hands to the mat. Reach your right foot back and up. So you're opening up through your hips. If you want to bend your knee, you can, but you certainly don't have to. If you're bending your knee, press down into your left heel, reach up through your right knee, square your shoulders, and just enjoy this luxurious hip opener. And draw your right knee into your chest, shift forward, lift from your core, place your right foot between your hands. Ground your back heel, so we're in heel to arch alignment, setting up for warrior two this time. Follow your left hand up and over, arrive here in warrior two. Let's take a moment to check in with our alignment. Make sure your shoulders are over hips and we're not reaching forward. Right knee is working towards the outside of your right foot. And sometimes that means we have to slightly angle our hips towards the top of our mat. Square your shoulders, open up across your collarbones and draw your lower ribs in. Now on an inhale, lift your arms up, maybe lift your hips just an inch. And exhale, press your hands back down, bend your front knee. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, real intention as you place your hands back down. Reach out. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, down. One more time to come up. Exhale, arms come back down. And this, we're headed towards the most yang quality of this practice. So our right arm flips open, stretch to the right side of your body, and then exhale, bring your right elbow on the inside of your right knee. I know this leg is tired. I promise to give you relief. Take your left arm up and over, pinky down. I want you to feel the heat and know that you are capable of being in challenging situations. There's ever time that a side angle position has served us, it's now. If not now, when? Okay, let's come back to warrior two. Keep your front knee bent just for a second and then straighten. I told you I'd give you relief. Bring your feet in. We're headed towards temple pose. So turn out about 45 degrees from your hips. Slide your hands down your legs, thumbs on the inside, and let your hips settle. You can sway side to side here. This is always a good one at the end of the day, especially if you've been sitting a lot. And then let's find cat-cow here in temple. Inhale, draw in through center, round your back. Exhale, lengthen out through your spine, reach your heart forward. Exhale, coil in through center, navel to spine. Inhale, extend your heart forward. One more in each direction. We'll come back to center. Straighten your legs, turn your toes in towards each other. Sweep your arms out and up. Take your time to fill your lungs. And then to transition, we'll fold forward. Take your time with this one too. Slight bend in your knees is helpful to keep your back straight. Pivot towards the front of your mat. Oh, that's not the front. So your right leg is in front. Ground your back knee and bring both hands on the inside of your front foot. You can stay here with your shoulders over your hands. This is great. As you know, the other option would be to walk your hands forward, and so that reaches your heart forward, extends your spine, or maintaining the length of your spine and the forward movement, you could bring your forearms down or to blocks as an option as well. And instead of your right knee going out to the side, this time let's try to squeeze your right knee in towards your shoulder. And can you maintain that integrity and soften your grip and soften your jaw? Check in with the quality of your mind. Quality of your breath. Notice how those two things are connected. If you're on your forearms, we'll slowly bring your hands back into center. Take your right hand on the outside of your right foot, tuck or lift your back knee, and step your right foot back to meet your left. So very slowly, with lots of patience and strength, lower yourself down to the earth. And then with ease and fluidity, liberate yourself in cobra, peel yourself off the mat, and melt back down. Hands under shoulders, back through plank to downward dog. Inhale your right leg, reach back, lift up, and then, or left leg, and then exhale, bring your left leg through center. Place your left foot next to your left thumb. Ground your right heel, so you're heel to heel, setting up for warrior one. Sweep your arms forward and up. If you have your towel or strap, go ahead and grab it in one hand. And then exhale, bring your hands behind you. Either interlace your fingers or take your prop. Straighten your arms, pull your hands any amount away from your leg for starters. And then reach your heart up, extend your spine as you hinge forward, left shoulder on the inside of left knee. Arms come up and over. Gaze towards the back of your mat. Squeeze your left knee in towards your shoulder. Keep your left knee moving, or your left hip moving back in space. Left knee stays bent so your hips are low. Use both feet equally. Pull up through the inside of your back leg. Press down and away through the outside edge of your back foot. See if you can relax your shoulders anymore. Find any more freedom. And then use your strong core. Keep your chin tucked until you arrive. Lift your heart, unfurl yourself. Arms float above your head. Exhale, hands through center, dive forward. Place your hands on the mat. And step your left foot back and up. Open up through your hips. Lift your leg and then open up through your hips. Bring heel to glute. Right heel presses down. Left knee lifts up. Hands press down and forward. Shoulders are square. Right side body is long. Now draw your knee in through center. Shift forward, place your foot between your hands. Right heel pivots down to your heel to arch alignment. Follow your right arm up and over. We'll go through a similar checklist again on this side just to make sure. Left knee bends on the outside edge of your left foot there. Hips might need to slightly turn towards the front of your mat. Shoulders, though, stay square. Press down and apart with your feet and pull them together to get the co-contraction that makes this feel really solid. Collarbones open, lower ribs draw in. Now we've got everything fortified. We'll add a little movement, but see if you can keep your structure solid. Inhale, lift your hips just an inch. Exhale, re-ground. Keep your roots deep. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, press back down. Rise and ground. We'll come up one more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, extend your arms out. Keep your limbs strong. Left arm, left palm opens, right hand slides down. One inhale in reverse warrior. Exhale, left arm on the inside of left leg. Sweep your right arm forward and up, pinky turns down. Make sure you don't have too much of a bend in your lower back here. As you start to feel the heat of this position getting really loud in your left leg, expand your awareness. Check in with your back leg. Are you pulling up and in through the inseam of your back leg? Pay attention to your arm. One more breath. And then inhale up back into warrior two just for a second. And then straighten your left leg. Turn your toes to the side. We'll meet in temple pose once again. Hips low. So you can stay here in temple pose if this is enough of a hip opener for you. Or you can start to take your hands down and your elbows just above your knee. I have to usually bring my feet in a little bit for this position here. So your fingertips are on the outside edges of your legs. And we'll take just a couple rounds of cat-cow here. Inhale, draw in through center. Exhale, lengthen out through your heart. So you're either doing this in temple or from where we are. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, lengthen out and hold just for a couple of breaths. Sway a little from side to side. And then straighten your legs, reach your arms out, turn your toes in, lift your heart, full breath in. And then a slow release. Exhale, fold forward, soft bend in your knees, hands back to the earth. Pivot to the front of your mat, left leg in front. Ground your back knee, both hands on the inside of your left foot. Stay here, or arms walk forward, or come to your forearms. Find some place you can be for about a minute. Someplace where you're not gripping, clenching. Check in with your forehead and your jaw. What effort can you let go of? What effort needs to stay? take 2 more breaths. And then walk your hands back in towards you. Left hand on the outside of left foot. Tuck your back toes. Step into plank. Fingertips press down. This is our last time to lower, so let's take it really patiently. Use your legs as brakes. Pull muscle to thigh bone as you lower down. Last cobra. Peel yourself off. Liberate yourself from the effort with ease and fluidity. Exhale, release, and instead of downward dog, let's meet in a kneeling pose. So our final pose is, as you may have guessed, Mandukasana, which we did in our fun little core work. And when I do Mandukasana, I like to fold my mat from one end and the other to give myself a little bit of extra padding for my knees. I don't know what everyone's floor situation is like, so this might be a wise move for some of you. And then you'll take your knees wide. We can all start to do this together. And you want it to be someplace that's feels like there's some level of transformation happening. Like I said last time, somewhere between bubble bath and the dentist. You don't want it to be super easy, but I also don't want you to be in a fiery hell. So where you want your to place your weight is on the insides of your knees. So you start to move them out to any amount that feels where you like you've got some just enough tension to that's workable. And then you'll flex your feet so that your toes point away from you, and you're organizing your ankles so they're about directly in line with your knees rather than coming in towards each other. So your feet are pointed away from each other and moving away from each other. You could stay on your hands, or you can come down to your forearms. And then you'll notice, you can take these little movements forward and back, and you'll be like, oh, okay, there's a lot more sensation as I move my hips back. So we're gonna be here for an amount of time. And I want you to find some place that to begin with that's workable. And then as we are here, maybe you begin to be able to move your hips back a little bit further. So you imagine that your body from above would look a little bit like an M shape, is what this wood structure kind of looks like. Alrighty, so find a place that's workable for you and go ahead and sink in. Meditate on your breath. As you've been here for a bit now, maybe you could explore a little bit more by moving your hips back, even just 1/2 centimeter. Try not to think about how long we're going to be here, or whether or not you can or can't do it. Just be with the sensation as it is right now in this breath, in this moment. It's easy to feel like we want to bail, or when we want to quit, when we feel like we have a long way to go in something, or we don't know how long it's going to be. But if we take it breath by breath, often we find we can get to the end without having to bail or having to take a shortcut. See if there's any range left for you in our last few breaths. Check in and see if any tension has risen up in your jaw or forehead or grip in your hands. And slowly start to come out of it by reaching your hips forward. I don't know exactly what your spaces look like, but let's lengthen out. Stretch your legs behind you. Careful of any live flames. And if you want to take your forehead to your hands and just wave your bent knees from side to side. I have my head lifted so I can talk to you, but go ahead. If you can ground your forehead, do so. And then lengthen out through your legs. If you're askew on your mat, go ahead and make your way back. If you need to unfurl your mat, do so. Or lie back down. Let's take one more twist. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Reach your arms out along your sides and take your knees over to the right. Just a simple twist. Place your right hand softly on your left thigh. Relax through your shoulders. Soften into the earth. This is the portion of our practice where we let go, release. Effort turns into ease. Draw your knees through center. Right arm extends. Left knees go to your left. Place a gentle hand on your right knee. Do a body scan, see what tension you're still holding on to. And let go. And then let go again and again and again. Bring your knees back into center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Small movements, rocking side to side. Preparing your mind and body for Shavasana by focusing on the downward movement of energy. Soften through your hips, your lower back. Rocking gently here in Apanasana seed pose. Allow yourself to feel truly held. Then when you're ready, simply extend your legs out long in front of you. Taking your feet as wide as your mat and letting your ankles roll away. Palms open beside you. Start to sink into the space between your thoughts. I'll be here to tell you when it's time to come out. Enjoy your Shavasana. Without moving, bring your awareness back to the space around you. Bring your awareness to your body by deepening your breath. Small movements of your fingers and toes, wrists, ankles. Stretch your arms over your head, reaching from fingertips to toe tips. Bend at your knees, roll to one side. Pause for a moment, observing the peace and equanimity that you've created for yourself. And then use your strong top arm to press you up into a seated position. Bring your palms together. Sitting tall with dignity, lift through the crown of your head. Thank you all so much for being a part of this community, showing up for yourselves and for the other people in your lives, even if they're virtual people. May you and all living things be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with strength and ease. Namaste.